Hello there. Today we're taking a tour of my studio, Formless Recording. This is a one-room studio that I've been renovating for a while now, and it's finally ready to begin taking on new clients. So you can book the studio for both full days and half days, and I've also been mastering songs and records as well. You can do that too. So we'll start with the essentials. So the first thing I did was, paint the place, put up some carpets, and just kind of, start again from the beginning almost. And from there, it was really just about doing all the essentials, like building these acoustic panels. So I've got some acoustic panels that you can see behind me. Those are hung up on the wall. Those are about 3 inches thick, and they're filled with Safe and Sound. You can get that at Lowe's. And then I've got some in the corners here for bass traps. Those are 6 inches thick, and they're about 8 feet tall. And then I've got a couple smaller ones in front of that. Those are 4 feet tall and also 6 inches thick. And then there's also a giant 8 foot by 8 foot acoustic panel that's covering the garage door. So it took me a little while to build those, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. You can do that yourself if you've got a small space in your home or office or whatever. So once we got in the carpets and acoustic panels and even a ceiling panel up here, then we got to kind of get into the fun stuff, which was all about bringing in gear and all of the stuff that makes this so fun. So let's take a look at the desk. So here we've got the desk where we've got most of our gear. The interface is an Apollo 16. We've also got a Universal Audio 2192. This is really just doing mastering in and out. So on the mastering chain, we've got that 2192, a Manley Numu, and a Manley Mini Massive. I'll do another video someday really talking about the mastering rundown, but let's go leave that for another video. Audioscape, Bus Comp, Clark Technic, LA2A, DBX 160X, and then we get into preamps. So we've got a Warm Audio WA412. It's an API clone kind of deal. I've been leaving this pretty much set it and forget it for piano. So those piano left and right mics go right into there. And then I've been leaving this for the SM7, and this is a Guitar DI line. And then the Vintech Dual 72. This was the first mic pre I ever bought, and it's one of those pieces of gear that I'm just really comfortable and familiar with how it sounds. I have a Soyuz microphone that's just living on channel 1, and channel 2, that's what I'm using right now for voiceover, but I'll often have an RE20 on that. And then everything is set up in these patch bays here. So the way it's set up right now, there's a snake in the room, and that snake is these first 12 channels right here, and they are half normaled into mic pre's. So the first 2 mic pre's, 1 and 2, are the Vintech, and then I have 2 channels here saved for 2 very special mic pre's that I should get soon from a modded Yamaha console. Really excited to get those. The Warm Audio channels for 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this very special Tascam mixer is the next 8 channels, and we'll take a look at that. All right, so here's this Tascam M520 mixer. This thing is super cool. Right now, it's really just being used as 8 mic pre's, which sound really good, and the EQ is surprisingly flexible. But I've used this in the past really as the center of the whole studio, and I loved it for that. I was inspired by Richard Swift, whose recordings I just really, really love. I feel like they've got so much character and texture, and he used a Tascam M520 a lot, so I was kind of inspired by that. One came around on Craigslist. I bought it. It works great. It's awesome. I've bought a couple other mixers in the past because I have a problem, and they're all super fun. I just love having the format of a mixer. It just feels very real, and I love that. I've got, a few things running through here already, like my synth and stuff like that. Drums sound really good on here. But let's keep it rolling here. We've got a little mini Guitar World over here. Since this is a really small room, I enjoy having small amps. This is a 70s Vibro Champ, really great amp. The tremolo's awesome. It's been worked on by, a shop in town that really got it up into tip-top condition. A selection of guitar pedals that I love. I keep a few guitars around, an acoustic around that I really love, a couple electrics, and usually some kind of textured guitars like a high-strung or Nashville-tuned guitar and a baritone. And so we'll flip around here and we'll see the other end of the studio. So this is Keys World over here. We've got our 1930s piano and 1980s Roland analog synth, the JX3P, kind of a little brother to the Juno series. This is maybe the part that I think I'm most excited about. I'm not much of a keys player anymore, but there's just a wonderful variety of textures here. You know, I've been having fun experimenting with felt and tape and all kinds of prepared piano sounds. It pretty much lives with these microphones on it, the AKG C1000s left and right, and then the Soyuz bomblet in the center. Those pretty much live there, although the Soyuz bomblet does sound really awesome on a vocal. So that's Keys World. And those are kind of the main things we got going on there. We've got a variety of other microphones that we should look at real quick as well. So let's take a look at some of my favorite microphones that we got in here. Obviously, we have the AKG C1000s and the Soyuz that we just talked about on the piano. We've got a few other things going on as well. We've got these Cascade ribbon microphones. These are a great sound on drums. We've got this Beat to Crap Sennheiser 421. I think it sounds really good on guitar. Got a couple of these AKG D224s. These are a dynamic microphone with 2 capsules, which you do not see very much at all these days. For a dynamic microphone, it has a really wonderful top end. Electro Voice RE20. These are super, super cool. Great on a bass guitar, on a kick drum, and vocals. This is an Electro Voice 635A. And I love these on some vocals. They're not right on every vocal, but when it's right on a vocal, it has an incredible character to it. A little bit ribbon mic-like because it doesn't have as much top end as you might associate with like a modern dynamic mic. Really, really cool. And you can still pick these up on eBay for about $75. And then a couple SM57s. Everyone knows this mic, and they're everywhere for a reason. They're really good. Also got an SM7 kicking around here somewhere. So those are the microphones that we've got available. Everything kind of works for its own purpose, and keeping it flexible while kind of having options reined in, to me, is a great way to kind of keep creativity going. So that's a brief overview of the studio. There's a little kitchen area and a bathroom, of course. But yeah, small little one-room studio that I think you can do a lot with. I've tried to keep options as far as instruments and microphones relatively open, while also, you know, not going completely extreme and having everything under the sun, because sometimes that's too much, you know, at least for me it is. So my goal for this place is that it is somewhere between recording studio weekend and songwriting session. You know, I want to have tools in here like guitars and piano and bass, maybe a really small drum set soon, we'll see, and gear and all that. Things in here that kind of spark creativity while also being things that, you know, if you had a song or whatever that was like fully fleshed out and you want to hop in here and do, you know, bass, piano, vocals, awesome. Easy to set up and easy to work with. So that's kind of the goal. And, you know, it ultimately for me comes back to why I kind of am rolling with the name Formless Recording and Mastering. To me, that really means taking an idea that's formless and bringing it into form in whatever that form might be, whether it's a song or a podcast or an audiobook, whatever it is. Ultimately, to me, the goal is that our creativity can take shape into something in reality. So that's the idea going on here. I'm renting out the room at really affordable rates. Would love to have you in this space, whether you need me as your engineer or if you just need a place to chill and let that creativity happen. Yeah, let me know if you got any questions. We'll see if we can answer them down below or anything like that. Thanks for watching.